Well, I was born in Brooklyn, but mostly grew up on Long Island, and we went to a progressive school on Long Island. They used to have those back in my day, where all the development happened post-World War II in the 50s and 60s. That's where I grew up, and I would work in New York City occasionally and have the in the summers and have the opportunity to really understand something about the arts in New York. It's a great city, of course. And I went to SUNY Binghamton, which was one of the new and opening major public universities in the State University of New York system. And that's where I met my husband, and we ran away and got married at 19, which is not something everybody knows we've done. My father was really confused about women in leadership. He was terrified that I would become a spinster if I became a career woman, which he thought was the worst thing that could possibly happen to a young girl. On the other hand, I think he wanted a boy child first. He even had a name picked out. And so he had the kind of aspirations for me that you'd have for a son. I used to go to Ebbets Field to double headers for the Brooklyn Dodgers when I was 4 years old. My father started taking me to those. Jones Beach, which is right where we lived on Long Island, he used to dump me in the water and say, swim. And my mother was this very artistic person in the background, not nearly as domineering as he was, but she wound up, I think, in many ways living her life through me as I became successful. College education, I tell you, my father was the first and only person to go through college, but he went by commuting to NYU in New York City and knew that the best thing you could do is go away to a residential college and spend some time really enjoying the community of a university or a college. And that was in my head from the time I can remember that I was going to do that. And I really was the first one to go to a residential university. I spoiled it by running off and getting married, of course, but which they did not anticipate.